Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side of sports. I'm your host, Laws in the building. Got my man Ern with me rocking out. We got a packed show. We're gonna get into all of it. We got, NBA playoffs. We're gonna talk about it. Me and Ern might get into an argument today. Might just go there. We gonna find out. Uh, but before we get into all of that, we gotta, question of the day. We're gonna go through that. Uh, but first we gotta pay respects to my man, dog. Who this brother has done more for the black community than I don't anybody in the last 10 years, dog. And I don't care if y'all some people like how could you say that? Dog, we're having conversations that we would have never had, dog, that our community needed to have for a long time because of this man, dog. And I'm talking about none other than Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace to this man. This man was having and putting forth conversations that we wasn't having in our community. Bama's was on simp missions to just say whatever the youngest want to hear and make them feel good. And he was like, none of it. And despite what y'all say, because at some point, all the game tapes going to be under review, and you're going to look at all of his content for men and women, because just as critical he was, with women and just their skewed and
Delusional.
grandiose ideas and illusions that they were under, he was very critical of men as well. That don't get as much shine or whatever. But the thing that bothered me was that the man had not been dead 48 hours, dog. To where it was just total disrespect over my man's name. I've even heard the notion that how could he talk about women when he was with a plus size youngin on his deathbed, essentially, because he was messing with the gas station
Fake news.
rhinos and
It was it was fake news. That wasn't even the youngin he was with. See, these youngins will make up anything. They said the Bama was with a tranny. Then they said they talk about the Bama apartment ain't in his name. Rich people don't put stuff in their name. Like, stop. Like, they coming up with all these broke bottom feeder type scenarios to try to slander the man even in death. And they taking it like a win. Like they not fat no more. Like they not undesirable no more. Like they not average no more. But it ain't.
dog.
They think the message is dead. They think the message died with him.
Dog, I might have to pick up the mantle, dog, because these are conversations that need to be had. I'm not saying all women are under the delusion, dog, but I'm saying
The
there's
single
a
ones
large
at 35 plus are under the
the
delusion.
the
90%
mantra
of them.
of of buying a dog and dying alone. That's a real thing.
Let me say
That's a
this too.
real.
When the rumor hit their waves to where it was getting to all of the undesirables, when I tell you every ugly, fat, undesirable, old and lonely joint was hitting my phone, joints I was trying to get to watch the videos and have conversations that didn't want nothing to do with the Bama. As soon as the news hit the airwaves, they blowing me up, trying to, like, you see what's going on and all, want to have discussions, calling me, dog. People I ain't talked to in weeks or months. I just find that joint extremely hilarious that they taking this like a win. And it's just a reflection of who he said they was, dog. You are who we
Dog,
thought you were.
once the seeds was planted, it was a new day. It was a new day. And this is just the reality. There's so much that women just don't know about men.
Because they don't have to know
Men
about men.
are chameleons, dog. They will move and shift in any way that they can in order to get the result that they want to get. And if a certain action is not producing that result, dog, they learn by trial and error. And if this don't work, I'm gonna do
Adapt.
this. And if this work, I'm gonna just keep doing this every single time because it worked. That's just as simple as most men's brains are. And like this is maybe news to a lot of women out there. Men have not been honest with you. They have not been honest with you. The guys that you think are, what was the Batman name? Darian
Derek
Jackson or
Jackson,
what? Yeah, that
super
Batman
cool.
was fugazi. He was telling you to, oh yeah, you everything, baby boo, sweetheart, woo, 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 woo.
Whole time he
All
was
of that.
married.
Whole time, Bam was behind the curtain fixing soup, dog. He was just moving outrageous. Then he got exposed and it was, oh, so it's like now people, I feel like Kevin Samuels, one of those just brutally honest type dudes, where it's like, well, what can we find on him to discredit him? Right? You don't have to listen to him at all. But I'm trying to tell you, as a married man with no stake in the game, the Bama was spitting 100% facts. It might be like 1 or 2% out of all his content that I just don't necessarily subscribe to, but 98%, and that's a good percentage, dog. If you shoot 98% from the field, you automatic in my book. Steph Curry automatic. That Bama just, he real like that. I'm just saying. And because of that, Aaron, we saw this week, and we got to talk about it.
You know what I find funny? The only scare tactic men seem to have in their pocket is we don't want to marry you. As if marriage looks like this. What? When it looks more like this. And where is he at? What they playing? Grand Theft Auto? Call of Duty? But besides that, they want you to do the job of 1 million people. And then they don't want to pay you for it. Look, you're supposed to be getting 12, 15 an hour on average to be they maid. You know, that's a 24/7 job. So you're supposed to be getting paper. Lord have mercy. They want you to be their personal chef too. You're supposed to be getting $97,000 a year. You know, they say they want to marry so they can create a family. So basically they want you to have their kids. As a surrogate, you're supposed to be getting anywhere between $30,000 and $46,000 to have one kid. Then they want you to be their mental health specialist, their emotional therapist. You're supposed to be getting anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000 a year for that. And they want you to be their sex worker. Now, if you over the age of 25, you're supposed to be getting about $60,000 a year for that sex worker stuff. If you're under 25, you're supposed to be getting $111,000 a year to be their sex worker. Then after you have the child, they want you to teach the child and be the nanny to the child. So you're supposed to be getting about $25 an hour for that. And not only do you supposed to get about $25 an hour for that, you are supposed to get these benefits. You need a 401k, dental insurance, flexible schedule, health insurance, mileage reimbursement, opportunities for advancement, paid orientation, paid sick time, paid time off, paid training, professional development, tuition reimbursement, retirement plan, and vision insurance. You're supposed to have all of that. But what they want you to do all that for? A cheap ass ring. Because you know a ring is too much. They want to go get you something from Walmart. Because they think you a gold digger if you don't accept a $50 ring as an engagement. You just ungrateful. They just want you to be happy with saying, I'm married, while they work you like a slave. And then don't want to spoil you. Then don't want to give you no love. Baby, women are not pressed about you not wanting to quote unquote marry them. Trust me, they are not. They would rather take trips to Dubai. They would rather the hot girl summer. They would rather be on the beach with black sand, with a mimosa in their hand, listening to a Caribbean band. I promise you, if you read the comments, you'll see the majority of women are saying that. Ciao.
This is why we got to keep the man legacy alive, dog. This is exhibit A. Any youngin who subscribes to this level of foolishness, she made half the stuff up. What, Aaron? You know some married men, dog. You
This the
know,
thing.
you know.
A lot of these youngins don't realize when they go on like social media and start talking about the things that they deal with, it's a reflection of the niggas that one they can get and that have interest in them. And it like that's your circle that you choose to be around. Like this is the type of dudes that you're attracted to and that you attract in your life. Period. Like 90% of women aren't experiencing the stuff she was going through, or she was claiming or telling on herself to have been going through. Like that's just not real life. And that's one of the things he always talked about is how they have this fear mongering of relationships and black men to where like being married is this deep, dark, hated, despised, sad, miserable life, when the women that's married and understand the benefit of having a man in their life, a husband, and feel like what a man does for them is not something that's to be salaried or paid hourly. It's part of the life that they chose. So I just find it interesting when you see these little drinks. She 45 with braces on. They just tell you she didn't make good decisions over her life. She taking trips to Dubai and she on black sand beaches and drinking mimosas internationally, but she didn't get the braces 30 years ago. It's just that just tell you what type of decisions she making, how she prioritizes her life.
Coke
but it
bottle,
is what
glass.
it is.
Yeah,
We would never look twice at a joint like this, even when you was in the streets. Like they invisible in our world.
These the Jones that you be in a club and you like, bobbing to the joint, and then they come up on you and be like,
right,
trying to get you to fall into the abyss. Hope you done had one too many drinks, and you know what I'm saying, leaning off the side.
I go deaf mute immediately. Deaf mute instant.
Dog,
it's sad.
This is what y'all got to deal with out here. She talking about, you look at the comments, we find just, dog, you can play it that way. It's not the same for men.
And I guarantee you the comments is not agreeing with her. Even the youngest wouldn't subscribe to that foolishness. Like that level of OC is just because like they can pretend like they don't care about getting married, but in reality, these youngest is out here pressed. They out here pressed. You go look at any of them, like, what's the first thing they say? I'm dating intentionally. Don't stop. Like, they want to be married. It might not happen for them, but they want it. So you can play all them games you want to.
Oh, we gave you you can get married. It can happen for you. But you got to dial back the entitlement. You got to understand that you're not in a position to be calling all the shots. Don't matter how much money you make. It don't matter. Those things aren't the criteria for men looking for women to marry.
And that money stuff is fake news. They're not making money like that. They making regular middle class money. Like they need to stop with all this acting like they run around. No, stop. Though I be doing y'all taxes. Stop. Like I know what the money really look like. You take 3-4 vacations a year, 2 of them international. You in the same places all the other birds in, taking the same pictures, posting the same. Like stop. Enough is enough, though. Like they need to stop with this fake news about them making all this money. It's not real, though.
I'm just saying, like, rest in peace to the OG Kevin Samuels. Yeah. We gonna miss you, bro. We gonna miss you. Though I don't. Was it a conspiracy? Was they trying to get the man up out of here, dog? Because his bread was so long. Dog, he had to make 50 mil, dog, in like 6 to 8 months.
They
dog.
saying he died broke with less than 1,000 in his banking account. Dog, they making up. That's like they're like the white men of the minority community, dog. They just make it up as they go along. And if they say it and believe it hard enough, they think the rest of the world gonna believe. Like, stop. We know what the YouTube numbers do. That's the thing. They don't know what kind of money you can make off YouTube. So they made the wrong lie up. They made the wrong lie up. The band was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month minimum.
Bama had million view videos like in 2020, 2019. The Bama was going back watching the old Jones. Then he maximized every platform.
We did the breakdown on the YouTube numbers, and we saw what the money do based on how many followers. It was
baffling to me. Yeah. I'm like, dog, I might have tried to murder that Bama if we had to pay that Bama out like he was getting paid out, dog, every month on every video. It's like young YouTube creators was like, hold on, dog, we got to put a stop to this junk, dog. It's insane how how many views his videos were generating. Though, so WNBA, on some sports, WNBA, they had a swimsuit edition coming out with Sue Bird, Ted Cooper, Dee Dee Richardson. What's the other youngest name? Brianna Stewart and Nika Ogwumike. All on the jump. Does this make you want to watch WNBA games?
Are they gonna dress like this? I'll watch.
Stop it.
Nah, the joint genius. To me, it's genius. Like
No,
this is stuff they should have been doing.
They should have been doing
it. If you going to take the position of not asking women to contribute to your viewership, or you just gonna focus on men, give men what they want. And that's what men want. They want to see skin. They want to see dunks. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta start giving niggas what they want if you expect us to watch. And you gonna put all of the onus on us. I think it's genius.
I think it's genius too. And I don't know whose idea it was, but
some man.
Stop it. No, this is the way to sell your brand. Because dudes is gonna be like, oh yeah, you see the swimsuit edition, like it's gonna bring eyes. I mean, it's unfortunately the world that we live in where sex sells. Like everybody knows that. That's I mean, you can go on yahoo.com and just go to you can go to any of the stories. There's gonna be some story about some youngin either naked, showing topless. Like, I feel like that's a daily story on the news feed because people click that. It's clickbait, dog. Bammers want to see youngins. It's just the reality of the world that we live in. So, you know, if they are trying to spin that into their marketing ploy, like,
give that man, give whoever that was a raise. Give him a raise.
I mean, yeah. Dog, when is Brittany Griner gonna get out of Russia, dog? They just gonna hold her hostage for forever?
They probably trolling Biden with his weak ass. She should have been home, dog.
She should have. No, she been in that junk since it was cold. It's still cold. I feel like
Bama stealing out of China was out faster than her, and all she did was take some weed over there. Even though you got like y'all be playing around internationally like America run the world. America don't run the world for real no more. You over there playing with Putin, and he already failing miserably in Ukraine. So now he about to troll Biden in the U.S. Come get him.
And that's the easy troll.
Because they're not gonna do nothing. They don't care.
To me, it should be a bigger story. They try to spin it though. They try to say, "Oh, we're just gonna keep this joint on the low so nobody will talk about it, and then they won't know she over there." No, they know she over there. Stop it. No, these bammers kill me. Then the story go off the radar for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Then somebody say something about it, and then
they should have took Deladon or something. Like they get a little blonde haired, blue eyed white woman. She'd have been home already.
No, she'd have been home. 10 days.
It'd have been boots on the ground. They have her over there 3-4 months.
No, they'd have been over there, Joe. Guns are blazing, dog. Yeah, you right, dog. It's just. Oh man, she not coming home no time soon, Aaron. When she coming home? The next administration? Is it going to be to the next administration before she come home?
When Trump get back in 2024?
No, stop it. Yeah, stop
He'll bring her home and take credit for it.
Oh, so sad. On the NBA, Mike Brown hired as a new head coach of the Sacramento Kings. They apparently got pressure on him to make the playoffs with the team. I looked at the roster, it ain't happening, bro. Harrison Barnes, he just about washed. Terrence Davis, Dante DiVincenzo, De'Aaron Fox, okay, that's a piece. Maurice Harkless, he's off the bench player. Justin Holiday, he not his brother. Rashawn Holmes, Josh Jackson, Nah. Damian Jones, nah. Jeremy Lamb, he can score at times, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Alex Lynn, trash. Trey Lapp, nah. Chimezie Mutu, no. Davion Mitchell, I like Davion. Davion got skill. He can play. Namias Quitter, no. DeMontis Sabonis. So they got Sabonis, Mitchell, and Fox. That you can't win with that, though. That's not enough.
Yeah, but
That's
they
not
saying get in
enough.
the playoffs, not winning the chip. They can't get to the 10th seed
No,
for a playing game.
no.
They
Not
was
with that
damn near there
roster.
this year, right?
They was kind of, but that roster, dog, it just you got to retool. You got to get better. Um, do you watch Shannon Sharp podcast?
I seen some of them.
So Shannon Sharp, he has a Shay Shay podcast. He had Michael Blackston, the comedian, on there talking about just asking different questions about his career and stuff. And so it came up a conversation that him and Ben Simmons used to be friends until Ben Simmons tried to holler at his fiance.
Oh, I saw that.
And then he tried to deny that because the fiance told Michael Blackston that he was trying to holler, and then basically was like, he tried to deny their friendship. Dog. Ben Simmons, you not right, bro. You not right. Come on, you want to holler at the man fiance? What kind of?
This another thing too. Like celebrities be saying they friends when sometimes, like, if you done shook the Bama hands because y'all the two most famous people in the room 2 or 3 times, like some jokers, like, if you not my man, like if your number not in my phone, if I gotta reach out to you through Instagram, your youngin is not off limits. Like, I'm not saying that's how I'm moving, but that's how the vast majority of dudes is moving.
Well, apparently he's like, Michael Blackson's saying like, dog, first of all, I get youngins. I still got youngins. And I was hooking them up with youngins on my roster.
So why you
I was
mad if you got youngins?
No, he said, but this was his fiance. And like, he was saying that was established and he knew that.
You
and
can't
he was just trying to overwrite that.
If you got youngins.
But he said, he was like, if he would have just like apologized, but he tried to play it like, oh nah, like I don't mess with him like that. Like
exactly.
Get at his
exactly. Like, stop. I can't see Ben Simmons coming in the league in Philly with the notoriety he has, being buddy best friends with Michael Blackston, just because that Bama was moving around Philly too. Like, I just don't see it. These Bamas have been in the same appearance in a club on one night, dapped each other up. He might have sent them a bottle or something, but he's probably not as man like that. And that's how these NBA Bamas be moving. Yeah. They the biggest fish in the room most of the time. They got more bread, clearly, and they think every youngin they got first dibs on, or they can have any youngin no matter who she with. And that's how I go most of the time. Like, you can't be mad at that. That's the game. You talking about you got youngins and you then why you mad?
I think from his perspective, he's like, he was being dishonest. Like, Bama tried to play it like he was just,
because he's not your man. That's why.
Yeah, he not your man. That way he know now. He say he don't mess with him. He said he glad they traded him. He would have traded him for a Walmart gift card. I mean, yeah. He said now everybody frying him. He only got frying no more because everybody frying him. So
now he's rooting against the man because your fiance did what she was
fall
supposed
in
to
love,
do. She told you.
She did.
And kept it moving.
Did.
So what dudes be sensitive out here, dog.
No, but you know how it be. You know, if any Bama's sensitive over a few things, dog. Youngins and more youngins, dog. Just
I don't know, dog. I had you, but your man or so and so tried to. I'll be like, oh, for real? Like, it's just like it's not a conversation.
But you also not about to wife the jump either. It's a different level if you about to put a ring on the jump hand and walk her down the aisle, like, you know what I'm saying? And then somebody
did he
like,
marry yet? Is he married now?
Yeah.
Or is he just
he married to the jump?
Oh, he married to it? It's his wife?
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Yeah, Rada, so whatever her name is. Yeah.
A lot of times these dudes, they'll make a youngin their fiance just so she won't be out here letting other dudes hit. They ain't really got no intentions of being with the jerk. They just be out here wasting their prime.
Dog, them type of men are terrible, dog.
No,
How
I
you
say it's
go-
still a girlfriend. He ain't got no wife. Like, stop. That's exactly who he is. He want her to stick around. Like, he just
Oh
want
yeah. He want for the
play
long
around
haul.
with the other
He want
joints.
for the joint on
Yeah.
layaway. Just keep that joint till he ready to close the door. Yeah. Oh man. All right, we got the NBA playoffs. Everything's tied up 2-2, except for that Warriors and Grizzlies, Joe. Apparently, dog, Grizzlies fans is upset at Draymond for cooking them, dog.
Draymond was cooking.
I mean,
I was
you
just
know,
slamming him yesterday in the gym.
Draymond is one of them dudes you hate, dog, because he's on a phenomenal team with phenomenal talent, and what he does well, that's all he has to do. All Draymond Green has to do is like
Play defense
basically
and
play
antagonize.
defense and antagonize. That's it. No, and the Bama, I'm gonna tell you this, young. I really believe this with my whole heart. The Bama Draymond is a top 5 defender in the league, dog.
In his prime.
Dog, the other night, or it was last night, they played the Grizzlies. Dog, and this Bama had to make one defensive stop versus Jackson, who was cooking, by the way. He only needed to make one stop. The Bama made the Bama Jackson shoot this off-balance floater. Joe went off the rim. They got the rebound, came out, and won the game, essentially. They're off the one stop. It's just like when he has to make a defensive play, he can make a defensive play. Actually, a couple plays before that, he got called for a blocking foul when the jump, in my eyes, was a charge. Jones looked like Stern's orders to me. But I'm just saying, the Bama can be a lockdown defender for the few plays that you need a lockdown defender versus like bigs that they play against.
Ironically, I was playing ball last night, and the conversation in the gym for like 30 minutes was, is Draymond a Hall of Fame? He got 3 chips.
This the thing. He talking himself to a Hall of Fame, dog.
If they get another one and he get 4 rings, he getting it.
Dog, the Bama is he changes the game in his play. First of all, he talks to where. So this week, or after the game, this reporter's under fire for basically this Bama Jason's Salsapek, whatever, Salapek. Is facing accusations of racism after tweeting about Golden State Warriors player Draymond Green in Game 3 NBA Western Conference semifinals on Saturday. He says, and chew on this, Draymond runs his knuckle dragging open mouth all game long, but mild-mannered Kyle Anderson disputes one call and gets ejected. Next level jackassery. Oh, this dude, he just let all of his maggots just spill out,
right on out,
all out. Knuckle dragging, open my. That's one I ain't heard before.
Down in Memphis.
Dog, you right. It's just different. It's a different level of racism down that jump. Yeah. But dog,
they not
get him
scared,
out
like
of here.
Up here, they feel like if you corner one of them, they're not gonna say too much because if they feel like they could run into a group of niggas and it'll go bad. Down there, they feel like they still own the town. Like they can just do as they please.
Well, Steve Kerr and Draymond both came out and said they're not surprised. But of course, this like when you antagonize a player like Draymond Green, he just gonna talk more.
Right, because it's not going to affect his offense because he's sorry on O anyway. No. So, like, a lot of times dudes got to stay out of the extra stuff because it'll take the focus off making shots, what you got to do on O. If all you got to do is antagonize Bama and play tough D, that's all physicality, basically.
That's all physicality.
It's a little bit of IQ, but it's a lot of physicality.
And the Bama is listen. Don't get it twisted. The Bama Draymond Green, he has leadership qualities. The Bama is super intelligent. Like from a basketball standpoint, dog, he's intelligent. He
just can't shoot the rock.
He got heart. He can't shoot the rock. But dog, I don't need to shoot the rock on that team. They got a team full of shooters. Matter of fact, their head coach can come on the floor right now and shoot better than half the team's players. Like, dog, their whole basketball team is shooters.
Facts.
So Draymond, all you got to do is antagonize, which basically, like, he's excited to do that. The Bama has a podcast. Anybody got a podcast like to talk? Let's just keep it all the way 100. So, I mean, he might talk them all the way to a chip. Because I'm going to say this, now. This is real talk. We played basketball a long time, Aaron. We know how it go. Dog, when you got not a regular trash talk, a master trash talker on your team, son, he take other players out their game.
Facts.
He help your team confidence level, especially like when he be like, because you can see it in Draymond Green, like when he passed the ball to Steph and he like feed him the ball, he like has supreme confidence that they're gonna make the shot, they're gonna execute. When you have a teammate that has supreme confidence in you, it gives you supreme confidence. This Bama give them passes and be like, shoot that jump. He be talking to Jordan Poole, be like, bro, just take that jump to the lane, dog. He can't guard. Like, he give the whole team confidence in everything they do. And people don't realize, like in sports, that jump matters. It matters a lot.
And another thing it seemed like you was about to allude to, that a lot of these not uncompetitive, like nerds and dweebs and Bamas who got in based on their communications degrees, like when you talk or antagonize even great players, you can get them to take shots that you want them to take, or take stupid shots, bad shots, worse shots, and get out of the flow of the offense because they got something to prove. They want to be able to go back at you. The ego make them like, if I hit a three in your mouth and say, you bum, like instead of going through the play that the coach called, you want to go get the bucket right back. Or if I say he can't shoot to a Bama who can be a decent shooter but not a great shooter, he going to feel obligated to go take a jump shot that play instead of getting to the cup. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that people who aren't competitive will never understand.
No.
And it never crosses their mind.
And the other caveat to that is that while he knows that there's an ego on your team, or if he could jar the ego on your team, right, then y'all at a disadvantage. But at the same time, he knows that on his own team, there are no egos. Like there's nobody to do that to their team because everybody on the team is like, has like high value, like to the point where, first of all, Steve Kerr is a genius in this sense. There's no other team out there that I feel like you could take your star player and have them come off the bench, and that star player not be like in the coach's ear, like, dog, like, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
he's like the next Popovich because he's garnering a certain kind of trust that just doesn't go around the rest of the league. Like we talk about this all the time, how coaches a lot of times will cause their team more losses than wins. Like a lot of these coaches in the league are just there. It's a figurehead job. It's basically like you in charge of the team, but they're not really in control of what goes on from a basketball aspect. And they don't know how to dictate and control what goes on from that. You know what I mean? Like they don't garner that kind of trust from their players, to where Steph, I'm sure his ego wants him to start, but he trusts the coach and he trusts his teammates and he wants to win enough to where he's like, I'm a sacrifice. And you know what I mean? I'm not 100% and I'm just going to play this role. And then they end up developing Jordan Poole at a pace that he probably wouldn't have developed if your best player on the team doesn't take that back seat.
No, now they starting all of them Bamas together.
So when you need him in the playoffs, in big games to make shots, he got that confidence that even though it's not true, I'm as good as Steph. Or they trust me to take a shot as much as they trust Steph.
Dog, this Bama last night, Steph last night, dog, he went in a time machine. This Bama did some stuff last night that made me was like, oh, this is why when you go to a rec center and you just sitting in that jump for 10 minutes, everybody shooting threes. Like, this is why, because this Bama here. Like, when he gets in that mode where like it's almost anything leave his hands is cash, dog, there's no way to defend him because he has everything at his disposal, even teammates. That's dog. It's like I don't know what the Grizzlies are going to do if Ja Morant, who I'm now deeming, here we go, is injury prone. I'm labeling him
after
injury.
last night. I mean, it's not looking good so far. That whole draft class, like, stop. We out here trolling Zion.
Zion is the 1A.
He the GOAT.
He the GOAT for the injuries.
He the DMP GOAT.
We go DMP GOAT. But this man, he a different. Zion a different kind of DMP because this man will do 360s and warm-ups and show you that Bama is 100% healthy and then not play. So that's a different level, like of injury prone there, because the Bama just his mind injury prone. I don't know what's going like. That's a whole different level. I know he's trying to get out of there and go to the New York Knicks. He want to go to a big market, and there's a clause that if he plays or certain things or suffers injury, then that can't happen. So that's why he holding out. But Ja Morant, as good as he is, as much as I love his game, dog. When you talk about players in the league, Ja Morant, he might be my favorite player, dog. He a young Bama with an old soul, and he played like a Bama that like he's like an Iverson, like you know what I'm saying, like a Steve Francis, like he has that kind of aura with him in his game. But the Bama, I don't know what's going on where he just fragile, dog. The knee grab, Joan, it didn't look super egregious to me. Now he's doubtful for the series. This Joan is a rap city in the basement. We saying bye-bye to the Memphis Grizzlies, dog. It's over. It's over. If he does not play, they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. And I saw the strategic move that I think Klay Thompson came out and said they know that this closeout game is going to be the hardest game that they face, blah, blah, blah. They saying that it's all psychology, dog. Because if you talk like we about to wash these Bamas, it'll make them play harder, right? For the like they trying to end this jump. So they trying to talk them to lesser the level of play. It's all psychology, dog. So that series is over. You can call that one. The Mavs and the Suns, they tied at 2-2. Luka, dog, is he the future of the NBA?
If they're smart, he is. You got a white face who's actually nice. It's not somebody you forcing to be the face. I don't know about playing in Dallas from a basketball standpoint, but a lot of those West Coast games are them late games. People on the East Coast don't really get to see it like that. Mm-hmm. And the East Coast is what drives a lot of the media and the notoriety for which player, like what player is like that and which player isn't. But he need to get a vicious pair of shoes because the first ones I saw look trash. They got to get him a vicious pair of shoes that's in the stores that the kids want. You know what I mean? That Bama's will rock.
But kids gonna buy it anyway, dog. They was buying Under Armour because Steph Curry.
Yeah, right. But they was playing in them, but Bama's wasn't walking around like you start school the first day and you got Steph Curry's on like that. Like he needs some dresses like a LeBron, like a Jordan. Like you got to get him some elite level, even Kobe's, like some elite level shoes that you can walk around in with the casual clothes on, and like keep marketing them because it's like a lot of times you see they'll try to force, especially in this town, in the football players, they'll try to just find who's the best white guy on the squad, and we'll just force him to be like the face. And fans cling to it. Like, that's just how they think. They cling to it. You got a Bama who's actually really nice. Super nice.
Super.
Probably top 5, definitely top 10 player in the league.
No, I never saw this, though. I know he was like the best player in the Euro League, Joan, at like 17. He was the best Bama out there. But dog, this dude, he looks slow to me. But this Bama be getting past Bama.
He's not athletic. And he doesn't shoot great.
No,
but it's the mentality,
just real regular and just about
it's the mentality.
His mental supremacy is just like.
You gotta be careful. They're gonna call you a fool. You gotta reword that, JB.
I'm just saying the Bama real, dog.
He's not scared. Like the NBA game doesn't scare him. A lot of times it's a struggle for the Euros to come over here and adjust to the way that the game is played, especially if you're not a great knockdown shooter, which most of the Euros are who come over here and have success. For him to not be a shooter and come over here, I almost feel like it's helped him adjust to the NBA game because he has to play that gritty, like heady kind of like he's like a 6'7" Chris Paul in a way because it's like he's not the most athletic, but the Bama just smart and like
savvy. Uses body in the right angles. Just
so American basketball kind of fits better for what his skill set is than over there. So that's why it just looks like he's so much better in the NBA than he even was in the league he was playing in. Because you was like, this Bama ain't gonna be able to do that with his lower body. He's slow. He don't get off the ground. I remember you were saying that in the draft. And that hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed. That Bama be cooking.
He just gets it done.
He be cooking, though. On the other side,
he don't play no defense, though.
No, he
Bama
don't.
gotta
He
play
don't.
defense.
He can't, though. But not without fouling. He going to foul you.
He worse than Harden as a defender. Like, Bama's be getting on Harden. Well, back in the day when Harden was like that on old, but you know what I mean? This Bama is shit. He don't play no defense.
Dog, what's up with Chris Paul, dog? So it's a whole bunch of mixed stories about this whole situation. I don't know which one to believe, dog. They saying that the kid, he looked like he like 17, 18 years old. I mean, if you really, it's Mother's Day and you put hands on my mom or my wife, dog, ain't enough security in the building to stop me from giving you a sons in full. I just don't know what you gonna do? I'm gonna see you later, Chris Paul. Like, really?
First of all, if you're gonna see somebody later, you're not gonna say it on camera for everybody to be able to trace the joint back. You just looking to see what the Bama face look like. Oh, that's him. All right, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna. Hey, I'm gonna see you later to a little kid. Like, stop.
They saying that the kid really was just talking and that it was all respectful, and then he just tried to like basically give her a hug or something, and then the mom's like, "Get off me."
But you know whatever. How it go.
Dog, Chris Paul, I'm sure that the fact that he was slumball millionaire out there that night had a lot to do with it too. Because
getting fouled out. I mean, what the second story you just said kind of makes sense, because I feel like if the Bama put his hands on her in the way that the tone was kind of like suggesting, one, I feel like we would have seen some footage or something by now, and we would have heard some details about it. The fact that we haven't seen anything leads me to believe nothing really, really happened. It was just one of those awkward situations where, like, if he tried to like give her a hug or like, oh, I'm just playing, you know what I mean? They like get off me. They don't want to be touched because they already annoyed or feel like you were disrespectful verbally.
And then
they say, you know how Black Brothers used to say, like, oh, he tried to hit me back when you like block a punch or something like that. It's like that kind of situation. That's what it sounds like to me.
Dog, you saw his mom trying to escort him out there. Dog, what was she doing?
She not in control. They household's a little different. They paid the $3,500, $4,000 for them tickets. He wanted to see the end of the game. He couldn't figure out why he wasn't going to get. He gonna tell Dad when he get home. Mom, just let them just.
They railroaded me.
Yeah,
they got me looking crazy on Twitter, Instagram. I didn't do anything. Yeah, dog. I mean, yeah. Come on, Chris. What you gonna do? Beat up a kid, dog? Stop it. You just. Oh no, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. You know, but I know fans do be out of pocket. They definitely do. But
this is
he probably was, you know, because he looked like one of them obnoxious type little kids.
Already. You see, he got the earrings.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every time stuff that Black parents would say is disrespectful, but that's just how they, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they move.
When Chris Paul got ejected, he was like, yeah, like all that extra stuff. Where you be like, dog, shut up, like get on my ear with that, like, you know what I'm saying? One of them Jones, dog.
I don't know why they put the families in the regular stands with the regular.
Dog, why do they do that?
It needs to be like at least a section with security around them, but they so worried about getting every dollar and not missing out on some of the good seats that, you know what I mean, potentially could be sold to customers, that they just refuse to do it. Like, if you see where the family sits in the NFL games, like a lot of times you're like, why are you all the way up there? And you gave birth to the Bama that's out there putting on the show. So it's just, I don't understand.
Yeah, they just, man. Yeah, when you in the jump with the riffraff, you don't know. I mean, and the thing is, so, you know, my nephew used to be in the league and we used to go to the games and stuff. And my brother-in-law, he get a little rowdy, you know what I'm saying? But his son out there, dog. So it's different when your son out, you know what I'm saying?
It's also different when you could back it up.
That's true too. But like, I ain't never seen about it.
Yeah. And then act like, what happened? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if you ready to tee off, and go to the max just like they ready to go to the max. Because you see, if you go to like a 49ers Raiders game, they be out there going to work, throwing hands, knocking batters out.
Before the game start, them guys be in the parking lot fighting over hot dogs in that show, dog. So you already know. Then we got the Philadelphia 76ers tied at 2-2 with the Heat. Dog, is this taking a turn?
It looked like it.
I feel like the 76ers are getting confidence, dog. And B with confidence, that's a different team. It's just a different team. I don't know if they're going to be able to win the series because Jimmy Butler is tough. And I feel like his grit alone is able to like kind of propel his team. But the Embiid and the Harden
backside of a barn on that jab. He just hit a couple of shots. They win the game. But it was it was rough.
And then Harden on the other end was going. Cooking. He went back in the time machine and was cooking. So I don't know how that series is going to play out. But you know, we got a game tonight, so we're going to see. Then you got the Bucks and the Celtics. Now, Al Horford winning the time machine was hitting threes, doing everything. Had a vintage dunk on Giannis. I'm like, are you kidding me? Dog, this Bucks Celtics series is tough. Dog, I thought Giannis did what he needed to do in order for them to get a W last night. It felt like just the Celtics was just hitting everything, dog. Jaylen Brown was hitting shots.
He been cooking.
Was it Jason Tatum was out that joint hitting tough buckets? Dog, he might be my number one tough bucket getter in the league right now, dog. Some of the buckets he be getting, I'm like, dog, how? He be getting pushed out of bounds, little flow jump off the backboard, and unbelievable shots he was making in that game. I don't know how this series is going to play. I think the Bucks will still win, but the Celtics is not an easy out. I'll tell you that, man. This joint crazy. So, I mean, for my predictions, Warriors going to win. The Mavericks and Suns, I think the Suns still have a better team, and I think they'll get past the Mavericks, but we'll see. If the Suns stay in this funk, I don't know if they're gonna be able to get out of it.
Nothing else about Chris Paul if they don't win this series, though. I don't want to hear nothing else about y'all, man.
Yeah, he might be done. Then you got the Bucks and the Celtics. Like I say, I can't even call that one. I look stupid calling that one. 76ers Heat. I think I want to stay with the Heat, but I'm feeling the 76ers momentum change, dog. I'm seeing that momentum change.
Whoever win this game will win the series. Flat out.
Yeah, that when you go up that 3-2, that's a big accomplishment. I mean, like that's why I said the Warriors 3-1. It's just a rap city in the basement. They're not gonna get out of that headlock. But especially yeah, man. Ja. Yeah, especially without Ja. That is all, young. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Please subscribe to the channel, share the content. We need as many subscribers as we can get. Please share the content, share the show. We appreciate everybody who rock with us heavy. Shout out my man Wes. Shout out my man Mike. Shout out to my man Grant. Omar, who always be sending in donations. Appreciate you. If you want to donate to the show, you can donate at Cash App at OSS 980. We take all donations. We with it. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha. Shout out to Lance J Radio. Shout out to Jenna Garcia, who we're gonna try to get on the show soon. We about to up our guest list on the show. About to get hot and heavy with the guests. And we out.